You got to get the offensive parts that you need to take this offense back up to the top of the hill today on Mock Draft Monday.
From the land of the free and the home of the Chiefs, this is the Locked On Chiefs podcast.
Welcome back, folks. We're brought to you today by the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Stay tuned for the Armada Player of the Week later in the show. Welcome in. It's Monday, and that means mock draft. We were getting after it. We're going to do something fun this week. We're going to split it. Today, we are going to focus on an offensive-focused mock draft. Doesn't mean it has to be 100% offense, but that's the goal, is to restock the offense as if that's priority number one. There's nothing else that you really got to be concerned about unless something just rolls around. We're going to have fun with this. Tomorrow, we're going to do another one based on defense. That will be the goal. We're going to have some fun. We're going to take impact players. We're going to fill in the depth, and we're going to take advantage of what we get. So make sure that you like, sub, and hit that bell. Thanks for making this your first listen. Make the next Locked On show your next listen as well. Check Chris out over at KC Chiefs Corner. You can find me over at Rogue APC. The Athletic Matrix is out, and by Monday night when you see this, the draft guide should be out as well, barring any unfortunate graphical errors. So get to rogueapc.com, use the code LOC, and you'll get a nice discount. Get the draft guide so that you're ready for this upcoming draft. You can find me also at RGR Football and NFL33.com. We appreciate that. And if you want all the breaking news, any trade that goes down before the draft or anything like that, make sure you're on the text line, 816-357-8781. Let's get after it. We're going to dive right in. Again, we're trying to bulk up, make us strength stronger on the offensive side of the ball. We'll be using PFF's mock machine as we usually do. And we have to start off discussing if this is truly what they need to do. They got to go and they got to trade up. I don't think there's any other way around it. Waiting for 31 is not going to net you the type of player that you need. And by type of player, I mean, it might be a little purplish, but nearly a blue chip player. That is the goal here. So we can kick it off, and we should probably start around mid or stop it around mid-draft, see what we can try to get done, right?
Yep. Go ahead and start. And got down to the Falcons.
Okay.
That's about where we wanted to be.
So now we can start taking a look.
All right. So at 16, Walter Nolan just went, which we're looking at offense anyway. Any names that stick out at you that surprise you?
Nothing too much other than that Cam Ward falls to 7. That's interesting. That tells me that this draft is going to be a little bit out there. That's perfectly fine. But for us, so far, a lot of defense off the board. Running back, that's just fine. Tight end, some edge. We're trying to fortify this offensive tackle and wide receiver. Those are the top 2 needs, in my opinion. Yes, a running back depth would be helpful, but that's not something you trade up for. I don't even think you draft it at 31 in this particular draft because there's stock all the way down into the 5th and 6th rounds that can help you. So, Bengals on the clock. We're going to try. We should shoot for the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, and the Green Bay Packers. Those are the most likely trade partners that we can try to move with. And at this point, this is going to be a tough one. You might want to check your mic as well. It looks like you're fading in and out a little bit. Make sure that's correct. You can go for 18. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty expensive. This is a regime in Seattle that's trying to make some changes. I'm not sure that's really going to be something that they want to get done and get out of that 18, but they do have 50 and 52 and 82. If it really had to get done and they were able to do this, I would move from 31 to 18, and I would give them 66 for 82. Keep us in the top 100, give up 20 spots in order to gain, 13 in the first. I could live with that if it would get it done. It doesn't look like it would here. So At that point, you throw in something else possibly. I don't think a sweetener is really going to help you get it to that point.
So 66 will work. So you could give them 66, probably get it done, and get back 137. That doesn't really help you with the area that we are trying to pick up picks, but
That would get you to 18, which is probably what it's going to cost if you want to go up and get an offensive player.
Yeah, that's a little rich for my blood. I would probably try the Bucks and then the Packers is what I would try. Malachi Starks went off the board a little bit before Matthew Golden. I don't think he's really high on the Chiefs board. If you change 66 to 63, would that help at all? Nope, not getting it done. So the Bucks aren't really in there unless we want to drop out of the top 100. Moving back to 121 doesn't interest me at all either. 2387, that could be a possibility. So move back from 95, again, falling out of the top 100. Try 66 for 87. That's probably where I would be looking to get something done. Maybe we can get a day 3 pick thrown in as well. 85% chance. I think we could probably pull that off.
Let's try that.
Okay, so in this scenario, it works. We're moving up to 23. We also are moving down from 66 to 87. I know that sounds like a lot. I don't think in this case it's too bad because we are looking for only a few players that can really fit the bill. And the guy that I was looking for went off the board just before we picked. The Chargers take Josh Simmons, and that was the top guy on my board. He is the top tackle grade in my draft prep in this class. And yes, there's a big question mark because of the injury, but it doesn't change anything about what he does on film, and he is still the best tackle in this class. I also have a low first-round grade on Kelvin Banks. A lot of people think he has to go into guard. I personally do not. I think that he can survive out there. But the question becomes, TE2 is on the board here, Colson Loveland as well. I think either of those are a legitimate pick if you want to help this offense and you're going to stay focused on the offensive side for most of this draft.
I can't see taking a tight end here, personally.
Works for me. Then I would put Banks on this roster and roll with it.
Done deal.
And that's how a little trade up works. Now, we're going to come back and we're going to do day 2. We're going to see what this looks like this time. It's going to be a little bit different. We'll do that on the backside of this.
Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your pair controller, subscribe, or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports, College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. With Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto low latency mode, advanced technology, Fire Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds you need to stay competitive. With 4K streaming, watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and much, much more. Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. Already have a console? A Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with you, allowing you to take your kids' games wherever you plug in. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube, 3rd Gen.
Now, we are back looking at what we can accomplish on day 2. The Chiefs will reset the board on that first night. And if you want help resetting your board, make sure you check out KC Chiefs Corner and Rogue APC for that draft guide. Me and the crew have been putting it together with all the athleticism, all the production, and our film grades. You don't want to miss that, and you get a nice little discount. That's the draft guide at rogueapc.com. Now, we pause this here at 56. I assume that's because you're looking to maybe trade back up, knowing that we have 63 and what is it, 87 we have now?
I paused it at 56 just so we were going to be coming back and figured that we may want to look at it. I didn't pause it specifically 56 for any specific reason. We can make a trade, but I think we just go because at this point we're still going to have 4 picks in the top 100. And I do not think that we're going to use all these picks.
Agreed.
So let's just keep going.
Again, we are focusing. Oh, and once again, the player that was high on my board for this area goes the pick before us to the Buffalo Bills. That's Elijah Arroyo, my tight end 3 in this class, going off the board at 62. So we are, again, trying to make the most of this offense for this offense. A guy that is very, very high on our board as a round 2 prospect. Comes from a small school, but can deliver a big punch. He is right here and available, ranked 61st, sitting here at 63. Jalen Royals adds a little bit of punch to the offense, gives you another option at the wide receiver position. I think that's a solid pick. There are trade back offers we could look at to see if you want to regain something, but I'm pretty comfortable taking Royals at 63.
Nope, let's take him. I think that's a good call. So now you've upgraded your left tackle, you've upgraded your wide receiver room, and we're back on the clock at 87 with 2 picks in less than 10 picks.
And that's where it gets very, very interesting. A couple of guys here on the offensive line would be interior players in Jared Wilson and Jonas Savanea. I don't think either of those are picks that you have to make. We just selected a wide receiver. Kyle Williams is an interesting guy, but I don't know that he's a perfect fit for this offense. A lot of folks like Damian Martinez in this offense. I think that's a possibility, as is Terrence Ferguson. Not my favorite pick, Terrence, but could fit in there. If you scroll a bit, we could take a look. I assume running back is high on your list for 87 here if we're thinking mostly offense.
Yeah, probably with the way the draft has gone so far.
If you want to double up, there is a
yeah, I mean, you could double up.
There are 2 tackles in here that if you are concerned about the future, especially possibility parting ways with Juwan Taylor, not knowing what's going to happen at left, if you're looking to double up and throw bodies at this. Belton, I believe, was there. If you scroll back up just a little bit, he's a guy that a lot of folks like. He's got good movement skills. He can do a lot of things. That is a possibility. Could probably get him with the next pick as well if we wanted to. The speed guy. DJ Giddens at the running back spot is certainly a possibility here. A lot of people like Charles Grant, William & Mary tackle. Obviously, level of competition is a big question coming into the NFL. I would lean towards Belton over him if I had to choose between the 2, but both of them are 4th tier at this point. I can't remember if I saw anybody else above that. But right now, I'd be leaning towards Belton and Giddens myself. Sorry, Cameron. Cameron would trump both of these guys. He's a right tackle. He's a guy that you could see growing into that position ahead of Wanya Morris, backing up and eventually taking over for Juwan Taylor. I think he has the chops to make that. He's got some improvement that he is going to have to put on there. I don't think he could be a day 1 starter, but I do think he's a guy who year 2 could be able to maybe take on those reins.
So double up at the tackle position. I'm good with that. Protect Patrick Mahomes at all costs.
There you go. And we're on the board in 8 picks. So the picture's not going to change too drastically, right? Ferguson still here.
Giddens right before.
Wow. I'm doomed this time. So let's take a look and just scroll down a bit and see what else. We're not going to go right off the bat with the tight end. We might come back to him. We'll see. We're done, I think, with tackles for right now.
Yeah, let's filter this. So let's look at wide receiver, tight end, running back. We'll keep CB in there. D-line and edge.
Sure. Now, this is the area where getting a top 100 pick is still getting a top 100 pick. And if even in an offensive-focused draft, you might want to go away from it, this is probably a good pick to do it with. Everybody knows I like Ashton Gillott for this team. I think that could work. What else do we have here? I think Birch is a little bit more of a stretch in my mind. I don't have him as high. Let's see here. Dorian Strong, some people do like here. Savion Jones, I think he's got some progress to make. I'm not sure he's ready to be an impact player. I don't know with FAU and his continued development if you want to try to put those 2 against each other. So I'd probably hold off on that. And beyond that, I think you're getting down to some guys, although we missed out on Giddens. There's another local running back that everybody wants to see in Kansas City. Should we just appeal to the masses and put Devin Neal on this roster?
Appeal to the masses or appeal to you?
Rock Chalk Jayhawk. I don't know. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. You think he's worth the 95th pick?
At 95, yeah, I think that can go. Again, I'm a day 3 running back kind of guy, but this is right on the edge of it. At 95, I think it's acceptable. I think people want to see a little bit more punch. The problem is I don't think he's drastically different than Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt at this point. He's not the breakaway speed, and that's why I personally would probably hold off, but a lot of folks want to see it.
Well, I think we go a different direction if you don't think he's much different than what they have in Pacheco, because I don't see the value there.
Okay. What stands out to you?
Let's see.
You want a home run
You don't
hitter?
like
You want to go Jaden Blue? Same position, different style completely. You want a third down type back?
Let's go ahead and just run with Jaden Blue, and then that way we continue this trend of going Texas Longhorns.
Oh, I
which
don't know.
I know
If that's
a lot of people will hate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we are coming down to 133. At this point, we're going to get into day 3 coming up next. The Armada Player of the Week is brought to you by our friends at Nissan and the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Each week, we're taking a look at draft prospects, guys that stand apart and will fit the strength and the power to push the Chiefs into where they want to be back in that championship next season. This week's Armada Player of the Week is very clear to me, and it has to be somebody that can come in and make an impact. I do think the Chiefs need to be looking at Josh Simmons. I think that that's an acceptable risk. It might be a little bit out there, but they just brought him in for a 30 visit late in the process, and I think that will work. We'll talk more about that later. He's heavy duty. He's maybe not as rugged as you want right now coming off the injury, but he can move, and he can move everything for you like the Armada can. When it comes to it, you can go forth and conquer it, and you probably want him, and you probably want the Armada. It's clear that our Player of the Week is ready to conquer the road ahead with confidence, just like you can with the all-new Nissan Armada and any of our other outstanding vehicles. Take the Nissan Armada, the Rogue, the Pathfinder, and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. I'm getting a little excited here because we got a lot that we can still do. Again, don't have to take all offensive players, but we're trying to look to bolster the offense here. So at 133, anything that you feel maybe we haven't addressed yet, or that you have a sleeper you really like?
We haven't addressed tight end, which I think is still possible. But I mean, you've really addressed the large part of the roster at this point. Like, I know we're trying to stay offense, but at this point, if you have defensive players that are popping up that you like, I think we ought to go that direction, because at this point, you have a new wide receiver, you have 2 new tackles, and you have a new running back. Like, that is a lot to add to the offense.
I agree. Well, in that case, if you're comfortable with it, we passed on Jalot to do something else offensive. But one player that's here on the board that I really like, and I have as honestly a guy that could go in the top 100, that is sitting here ranked at 122, and we're on the clock at 133. Let's keep adding to the trenches. But on the other side, I would take Ty Robinson. You guys have seen me take him before. If you want to do something else, I'm okay with that. But that's what I would do, because I do think where he's been going in these drafts has been very, very suppressed and quite frankly undervalued. So they
need to help him. They need to help at defensive tackle. So
agreed.
Okay. I'm going to stop it here because I think that they get rid of, I don't think that they pick 4 picks in the last 60.
Okay. So 171, you want to try to trade up with New England, give them 198, maybe 157 or 257, sorry, 251, whatever it takes to get it.
Honestly, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but there you go.
All right.
No 7 with our picks.
We've traded up. We have 1 more pick remaining. We do have 2 trade back offers in case you wanted to undo that. I don't know what they're going to be like, but it is what it is. Move back to 189 with the Colts. If you wanted to pick up a second pick, it doesn't matter to me.
190. No, I think we're good.
Okay. So if we look at the prospects, Again, let's try to stick to the offensive side, see if there's anybody that stands out.
And at this point, it's not just about guys that can potentially start. It's also looking at who can come in and be a special teamer. So that could also definitely be something if there's any returners here. That could be something that plays into it, or just a core special teams guy. It could also play into it.
Agreed. So you're thinking wide receivers. You're thinking more running backs, and that's okay. Bodies at the running back position can work. There's a lot of, I would say, power-based, not home run hitters. We did go blue, so we do have a little bit of that. But if they needed more, they need somebody that can return. That makes perfect sense. I'd keep rolling. I don't see anybody here that stands out to me as a great fit yet. Let's see. Fedoni, he's interesting. Let's see. Nothing yet that says grab me for this particular offense. And again, we're trying to focus on the offense.
Is there anybody that sticks out on defense?
No, nobody's really making me jump the gun there either. I do like Nick Nash. I think this might be early for him, but given what we've done, and we're kind of out of that, I think that's fine. Bashal Tootin is another home run hitter. If you want to add even more speed, you can do that. Let's see. Emory Jones, John Williams. I don't think those are tackles that will make this roster at this point. With Ethan Driscoll back there on it, with Wandy Morris, I don't think there's enough room to go around. So I don't think we go back to the tackle for a third time. That's for sure. Caden, no. Caden 2, no. Don't need Brady Cook. So I think, unfortunately, it's not looking too thick here with the options. So Tootin's 1, Nash is 1, and there's somebody else I pointed out before, but I can't remember who it was now.
So nobody's sticking out to you for special teams either?
No, not particularly, although I haven't paid attention to returning for the Tennessee prospect, or there was another one that I thought was a possibility. So I think when it comes down to it, you're going to limit it to wide receiver and corner and running back, and that's pretty much what it is if we're trying to stick to offense, and that's fine. I personally would like to give a smaller school guy a chance, so I like the story that Nick Nash could come with. I think he could be a guy that needs a year on the practice squad. At 171, I don't think that's really going to surprise anybody, but I think it's worth the gamble to see what you can bring along. Or the home run hitter, Tootin. He is athletic matrix number 1 in the running back class, so that is something to consider. If generally you want to stay fast and agile, he would help that. But
that would also double up. Yeah. That also doubles up on the running back position. Okay, I think we're going to go Nick Nash.
Okay.
And that will round it out for us.
And it gives
us... take a while to finish.
It will, but we can run it down in the meantime. If you want to just flip over to our picks, we were able to move around in the first. We were able to get up, get a selection. We barely missed out on what my target would be in Josh Simmons. So we take Kelvin Banks Jr., one of 3 offensive tackles with first-round grades on my board. My board will be released for free on NFL 33 in the coming weeks before the draft. It might be the night before the draft. It depends on the year. Sometimes I'm last minute. But I will give you that for free, and you get the whole guide at Rogue APC. That is not a freebie, but you guys can get a discount on it by using the code LOC. So we come back in the second. We stick at 63 where they began with Jalen Royals, a player that I do have pretty high on the board from our review and our film work. We like his fit there as well. Good athlete to boot. We come back with the other tackle. So we're getting bookend Texas Longhorns, the 2 starting tackles that went to the playoff this last year. Cameron Williams over on the right-hand side. Pretty good pick there at 87. That was part of our trade down. We come back with another Texas player. I didn't realize we'd done 3 Texas players. Jaden Blue, give you a little bit of spark out of the backfield. Our lone defender entry, Ty Robinson, to come help out Mike Dana, to spell Charles Omenihu, to do a little bit of everything and learn a lot. We come back with Nick Nash, somebody that we can put on the roster and hope that he can grow into a role. I think that this is a lot of offense. We stuck to our guns except for one player, and I think this is an interesting concept. I probably, in retrospect, wouldn't do all Texas again, but it is what it is.
It just kind of worked out that way. I do like the pick of, Kelvin Banks. I think that could be a really good pick at the left tackle position. So I like that. We'll see on the rest of them. But offensively, I think you hit a whole bunch of the needs and should really help at this point.
Yeah, we will see what happens. We're going to do the exact opposite tomorrow. We're going to focus on building the defense back, the opposite philosophy. If you have a strong offense, you need to give it a counterpart. Yes, we're going to continue to reload that. We might take an offensive player or two, but we're going to do another mock for you tomorrow. Don't miss it as we flip the script. We appreciate you being here with us today. Make sure you like, you sub, you check out NFL 33, KC Chiefs Corner, as well as RogueAPC.com. We have a ton of content for you. We're getting closer and closer to the NFL draft, and we have it all covered for you here on Locked On Chiefs. Have a great one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.